ends nowhere. A person cannot come down or go up. And the title of that is online program. So essentially what it means is, unless you make learning experiential, there is no way the learner would connect with the concept. And how do we go about it? I think today's students' attention span is very, very low. All of us are aware of that, basically due to the screens, right? So how do we go about this? So essentially what we need to see is, within his attention span, can he gather something? So can we go towards making it bite-sized as much as possible? So making it bite-sized, can I impart all the concepts? It is possible. What we need to do perhaps is make it bite-sized, make it micro-learning, make it mini-learning, make it minor and then major. For example, I have seen these examples in real life. If I'm teaching, let's say, data structures, and just the list part of that, right? So, will he be able to use it? Yes, he will still be able to use that. But how does he, put together a story behind this? Perhaps he moves to the next level of algorithms and then stitches his story towards this. So this is where we have to make it experiential at every level possible. Then this can be accomplished. So some of the things that actually can help in this particular case, if we had implemented AR/VR technology in teaching how a staircase has to be designed, this would not have happened, perhaps, right? So what we need to try to do is make it more technology intensive. It is only for that reason technology is available to us. Second thing is about sensitizing the tutors themselves or the teaching community, which actually is learning more and more the learning science itself in the recent days. And in a sense, for the current generation of teachers, actually they are becoming core learners of technology along with students. Many times I would have heard this from students. Sir, this is already there in that YouTube, what next? What new are you going to teach? Right? My answer would be, can you use this? You have learned it, can you use this? Okay, now I will tell you how to use this. If you have already used it, show me what kind of POC can you use together. So that's where experiential learning has to go. And I think, let's say for example, BTech CS. There are at least 8 job roles which are distinct, which are possible in just general CS. Are we actually targeting that? So we need to have roadmaps for each of those, and probably we could look at fractional credit system, we could look at stacking of those fractional credits, engaging certifications to those industry-specific certifications. So what you said about online learning being skeptical, industry being skeptical on online learning, that can also go away with this approach.
Great. Just adding to his point. Yeah. He was saying that the learning curve. So in our times, it was learning span was 60 minutes. Now the psychologists say that now learning span has, now it is only 6 minutes. So it means now the educators have to do something that after 6 minutes, they are physically in your class and mentally they are out of the class. So what to do to make them again physically or mentally present in the class? So for that, now for example, I can give you one example as a teacher. FIFA is happening and you are not aware of the football at all. But you have to understand that the 90% of them are interested in doing that, what the match is there and what is happening. So just as a teacher, you just note something about that match and discuss for a second that what happened, let us discuss after the class. So then again mentally they will be back. So I think that is also to be done.
A couple of points I want to add, especially one, adoption of online courses and all. Let me share, University of Illinois, Chicago, they have started a completely online MBA, well before we started talking about online mode and all that, way back in 2017. They actually have dispensed with their campus-based program. So it's a fully online only, and the placement record has been extremely high, it is there online. Right? So adoption or people adopting to online and online courses or online degrees, or people who have studied online, are not employable is slightly, taken with a pinch of salt. Having said that, in India, the context is different at different levels. Now, this completely online works very well in some of the MDPs. In fact, the companies are insisting, let us have it on online mode. And maybe, once in a entire duration, 6-month certification program, you have a one campus immersion for 3 days or 7 days and all that. So, while that model may not work at undergraduate level, so depending on who is the audience, you have to switch the right mode or configure the right mode. It is not one size fit all. Point number one. Second is about technology. Now, almost 2016-17, we have started using gamification in internal evaluations, internal assessment. A lot of quizzes and Kahoot and a lot of apps are there. This was 6-7 years ago. Today the technology is much more better. In fact, TCS and people like TCS and a lot of technology providers have come up with a plethora of such tools and techniques where immersive experiences, experiential learning by immersion in virtual mode using AR, high-end AR, VR is possible, is given. One of the startup guy who developed this HR module using alternate reality, who was my mentee at T-Hub in Hyderabad, is now providing HR training to the entire, it's a big telecom chain, and he's doing that on a virtual platform completely. So, what I mean to say is, it is not one size fits the all. We can't discount this is not being adopted, so it is not going to fetch us result. At the same time, we can't say everything can be done at a stroke. So it is not a silver bullet solution to give you solution right away, right now, immediately. But we have to move in that direction. The good news is we have started in that direction very well. Keep the momentum, and I'm sure we'll be able to reach the vision of a digital university, which our Prime Minister keep talking about, or promoting the idea of digital university, where your education becomes accessible, affordable, and also inclusive. Thank you so much.
So, the learners are adopting the technology. That is completely fine, because the learners are fairly relatively the age bracket where the technology adoption is much more faster. My question is, how to Mr. Ranganathan is, how can universities or the education institutes adapt to these new technologies or this landscape which is ever changing?
I did talk about blended learning a bit in terms of how the universities can start. You look at, I think there was some point about year as well. There is definitely a mix of models is what we should look at, right? I think there is always going to be these online sessions or AR/VR experiences as